Sorry about that. Setting things up still a little bit, and then I pushed the go live button. So, hello everyone. And sorry on Instagram here, making it kind of wobbly here for you for a minute. Okay, so hello and welcome. I'm a little discombobulated today. Today's energy seems to be a little bit off, at least with me. So, with that I want you to know that no matter where you're at and where you're at or going through, you are loved because we're all going through something right now. And welcome, welcome. So, with that, I just wanted to kind of start the show off with knowing that, no matter where we're at and what we're going through, that life is happening around us. And, many of us are going into these like big changes. And these changes are something that is, something that sometimes we don't know where to stand, and we don't know what we're really trying to do, and it seems like that we're going faster and faster. I heard a comment today about how fast things are going, how fast we're talking, how fast we're moving, how fast we're doing our life, right? Well, when we're going fast like that we get into these moments where that judgments come up, and we get into the wrong language, we get into talking the wrong way, we get into saying something that we wish we didn't, and we get into these moments where it's like, ugh. And I know for me today that I got almost I'm never an angry person. I very rarely show my anger, and I had a couple people at where I was at go, "Oh, I'm so sorry, Natasha. I wish I could have helped you out." And because they saw how upset I was, angry at the situation, and I was trying to breathe. I was trying to get through it. I was trying to do, and I kept my mouth shut because I didn't want to say the wrong thing. And when I did say something, I would say something like, "You're catching me in a moment, and I apologize. I'm not trying to be anybody that I'm not supposed to be. You're just catching me in a moment where I'm very there." And and everybody, when I said that, they understood a little bit more. So I want you to know that, the show is going to be about who's truly at fault, because the fact that we're all in these moments where who truly is at fault. We don't really like to wear other people's shoes. We don't like to do what we're doing. We don't like, being in these moments, right? But yet at the same time, we're in these moments where how can I negotiate where I'm at? And like, I'm looking at the back of me, on my regular video, and there's a dark spot, and I wanted to turn on those lights, but I forgot. But so here again is judging. I'm being judged. I'm judging myself. I'm not trying to, but yet at the same time, I want things to be, I don't want to call them perfect, but more graceful. And I am redoing my room here. I am trying, because right now we're coming into a new moment where truths are going to be truths. And we're coming in the moment where it's like, we have these opportunities to go forward, but many times we have to release something, right? Well, my shelving unit here used to carry a lot of my books and things like that, and stones, and you know and altar stuff. Well, I'm like going, I'm running out of room because I have so much stuff here. But I don't like to be a hoarder by any means, but there are certain things that are very dear to me, and I'm going through the stuff. But at the same time, it's stirring the pot. It's stirring these emotions and stirring up, should I really release this? Should I not release it, right? So with that I want you to know that, we're going through these times where judgments are really able to be out there, right? So I want you to know that go ahead and make some nice comments if you're struggling with the same thing. I like to hear from people about what they're going through and how I can help them, because of the fact that we're all going through something. So with that, going back to who's truly at fault. Well, I really, I was having here again, another conversation this morning where somebody was like, we were supposed to be able to get something. Um, and it was supposed to be handed out. And this is the first opportunity I actually had to get what I was supposed to get in this other situation that I'm doing in my day job. And there's two other people waiting, and they started going into, well, why isn't he here, why isn't he doing this, why? And I said, you know what, maybe he didn't realize that you were a new staff member, and he had to go get it at the other place he was at. He's probably, he's a tech guy, so he probably got snagged. Can you do this, can you do that? And I said, oh, wait a minute. I have somebody very dear to me that gets mad at me for having the other perspective. you know want my me putting my foot in somebody else's shoes, keeping one foot in mine and keeping one foot in others to get a different perspective. That can be very irritating, right? And I saw myself being irritated today. Was I right or was I wrong? Was I the bad guy or was I the right guy? Neither. I was neither. And that's the thing, is that there's sometimes where we are not necessarily the bad guy or the good guy. We're in the middle. So who's truly wrong there? Not really. Because at the same time, this other person that's newer to, I was able to have a conversation with them, and things were coming out, and the other person who didn't want to deal with me, they left because that's who they are, right? And they had a phone call that they were going to make, and other reasons and stuff like that. So with that really thinking about life and where we're going and what we're doing and where we're at and who's going here and who's going there, who's truly at fault. Well, I can tell you though that when somebody is blaming, putting themselves on top of, putting their emotions on top of, almost looking down on, really looking down on, and they're saying that you are the bad guy. You are the bad guy here. You are the one who's doing all the wrong. What did I do wrong? I said hi. Or I stayed on my phone too long. Or I said not exactly the wrong word, but I didn't say the right word either. Am I truly wrong? Am I truly wrong? Not really. That's the thing about life though, is that we may go into these moments where we feel like we're the wronged, you know, that we're wronged. Well, yeah, when somebody's really shoving something down your face or down your throat and really blaming you in a way that, who- are we truly wrong? No, but that's when we really need to, and I don't like to use that word very often, need. It's not about need. But one thing that we can do is that, the conversation we have with ourselves is vital. It's vital because there's going to be opinionated thrown all over the board, right? Because who is right? Democrat, Republican, the judge or the police officer or the person who was speeding, right? I knew somebody who was going down the road. They were going the same speed as everybody else, but they were tagged out of the bunch, right? There's something about something that is happening. But the thing that I want to offer to you is that when we're going through our lives and going through these emotions and going through being judged and going through all these different scenarios, that if we can step back and breathe, because I know today was one of those days that, we had snow for the first time of the year, right? And the kids wanted to have fun, but there's been a lot of emotions and throwing balls or snowballs in somebody else's face. And at school, we don't allow throwing snow because the fact that people don't always do it with niceness. You know, we have bark in it, snow, we have rocks in the snow, so you never know what's going to be caught in the snow, right? But yet at the same time, though, I would be looking at a kid, telling them not to do it, and then all of a sudden I see them doing it again. And that was only the 15th time that I saw a kid doing the same thing and how can I take the joy away from a kid and playing in the snow, right? But there's safety. And when you're taking care of over 100 kids, there is safety, right? So with that what can you do when you're in the middle of getting very frustrated and having emotions and doing what you're doing? Well, Here again, I didn't say who I was. I'm Natasha Venter, psychic medium, intuitive personal awareness life coach. I love to help people go through something. I am one who enjoys being the gift. And so with me, I look at myself as a person who, if I don't walk my talk, then why should I be talking? Right. So today, there again, was a day where I was really triggered. It was not a happy day for me. So what I had to do was I had to say things like pretense my conversation. I'm on edge right now. Things aren't going the way I want to, and I am trying to do my better here. So sorry if I say something wrong here. Because I don't want to be wrong or right. I don't want to be wrong or right, but yet I know that I'm living something. How can I live something and know that I'm not necessarily wrong while I'm living it? Because of the fact that we have everybody else can have emotional days, right? But how can we not be wronged on somebody else's emotional day? And how can we not wrong somebody on our emotional days? It's called conversation. And, I know today I told myself I really need to have a conversation with somebody, but I can't today because I'm not in the right mood. I'm not in the right mindset. I would be triggered and reactive instead of interactive, right? So when we're going through forward and we're doing things that we're doing, many a times that when we're uh, having problems and not necessarily who is wrong, who is wrong, but the thing is, so it's me that's in control of me. It's me who's doing what I'm doing, right? And so when we're doing that and managing our life, that how can we not necessarily be wronged while we're doing it? Now let's say if we have someone who, our kids come home and they're late from curfew. Yes, they did do something wrong, and we can kind of say that. But at the same time, though, maybe we should listen to why they were wrong, why they were late, and see if there's any truth with it, because the fact that if you lie to me once, I may listen to it. If you lie to me twice and I know you lied to me, hmm you know there again is cause and effect. So there's a little bit of difference with cause and effect than pointing the finger and who is wrong, because there is I think I said this the other day on a show. How many people are on this planet? 500 million? I don't know. That's just a number I had in my head. And then how many of the people have different perspectives, different upbringings? Even if you're in the same house, you have a different upbringing, belief system, understanding, emotional base. How many different people have all these different things? Different bringing up. Some people are brought up with more money, some people are brought up with less money. Some people are brought up in a loving house, some people are not brought up in a loving house. There's these different scenarios that bring in these different dances that we have. And as we go forward in managing our life, that how can we point the finger at somebody else about doing wrong when we don't even do right all the time? And I mean that humanly. How can we be perfect all the time, right? We can't. We really can't. And when we're struggling with doing our life and being where we're at, life happens and then we do it. So, you know, judging ourselves and judging other people about who's right and who's wrong, it's about perspective. It's about perspective. And if don't get the perspective of awarenesses and beings and loving gifts and knowings, then how can we maneuver our life, right? How can we maneuver our life? You know, life is hard enough. And being judgmental about it, it's even harder. So, what I'm offering to you is not a judgment here. I hold no judgment here because the fact we all have had something to do. I held judgment today and I didn't really mean to because of the fact that, I was put into a situation and I was, the way that I'm trying to manage feeling when I'm feeling wronged, because I'm not trying to point the finger of who's doing wrong. I'm saying when I feel wronged, I take the moment. What is the moment that I'm feeling wronged? It's not the person, it's the moment. Well, I was wronged because that car, you know, went in front of me instead of waiting, right? So I felt wronged. Did the person do wrong? Maybe, but yet at the same time, though, maybe what they just got was a phone call that their father had a heart attack and they weren't thinking, or they were coming out of the doctor's office with bad news, right? And so it's not necessarily that what they did is wrong or right, but putting our feet just a little bit in the assumption that maybe they're not as bad, right? But the thing is, though, there are some people out there doing wrong. They're stealing, they're they're taking from other people, they're cyber stealing, they're taking packages, they're doing all these things. They're sleeping on the side of the road and peeing and pooping in the same spot. It's just sometimes things are just metaphorically wrong, but at the same time, though, what does that scenario represent? How out of balance our life is. And the only way that we can put balance back into life is by doing better, giving more grace, giving more love, giving more expression. Because I know for me that when I'm around somebody, I can change their world. And I don't know how because that's not for me to say, but it's about doing, right? It's about doing. So as we're going forward and managing our life, it's not about who's right and who's wrong. It's about what can we do to help each other do better. Step it into a different moment. Hi, Carolyn on Facebook. And it's one of those things that judging the right and wrong, and like I was saying, that things happen to us that are wrong. They are definitely wrong. The thing is, though, in a lot of our moments in our life, having conversation about, let's say, why didn't you have dinner on time? Well, that's more what I'm talking about here, because there are rights and wrongs about stealing and crashing your car into somebody on purpose. Those kinds of things. Is yes, you're wrong. Yes, you're wrong. I'm coming back into the it's not the 0 or the 100%. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about more the middle of the ground. The conversations we have with a friend, who has a different perspective. Well, are you right or are they right? Are you wrong? Are they wrong? That's the thing is that there's not these dances that we got to do, and all we can do is um, have a little more compassion about what we're saying to what's going to be somebody else's hearing, right? And the only way we can do that is that if we're going to have a conversation with somebody, come into it with a little bit more grace. Like I said today, that I was on the edge. I had a really rough morning. And part of it was my perspective. I'll give it that. Things just hit me wrong at the wrong moment. And I felt kind of, I don't want to call it victim, but yet when somebody assumes that you're going to do something and they don't ask you first because they assume that it's your job, there again, I smudged myself before the show just to get myself feeling righted. There again, it wasn't time for me to have a conversation with that person because of the fact that no matter where we're at and what we're doing, life is happening around us. And all we can do is find a moment of grace. Like me having now, if I'm going to have a conversation with somebody, I'm going to try to do it as neutrally as I can. Hey, I know you're trying to take care of things, and I know that, there's only certain people that can do it. And, I'm one of the ones that can only do it. But at the same time, though, how often do I have to do it? Like certain people have to rotate. Can there be a rotation so I don't have to do it all the time? So I have a chance to catch up with certain things, right? And frankly, I don't want to stay outside when it's snowing and blowing for 2 hours and then go back out for another 2 hours. Just kind of wanting a little bit of break from that, right? So that's not wrong or right, but it's where people are. Yes. So Carolyn says on Facebook, people shouldn't assume, that makes this. Yes. Well, there we go. The assumption thing, right? So, but the thing is, though, I can't sit back and be the victim and point my finger and blame that person who made those choices, right? They're only trying to make sure the school stays safe, the situation stays safe. So now it's up to me to balance it, right? Not to say that they're wrong, but to give a different perspective and say that, you know, uh, can I have a conversation with you? And I want to have just a different perspective, please. So with that going forward in our life, that it's not about the right or wrong in the day-to-day little things that we do. Because if we can give a little more grace to people, can you imagine how much things will change? And as we're going forward and maneuvering, that we're coming into the season where it's like joy. Where's the joy? But you know what? I'm thinking back in the generations, and you know, I don't know. People always want to say that these older times where Christmas was fun. I can say, yeah, it was fun because I was a kid. But I also know my parents were stressed out, and grandma had to cook. It's one of those things that going forward. Hi on Instagram again. That we're going forward in life. That you know it is what it is while we're going forward. So when things are wronged to you because that's your perception, I'm going to ask you to take a moment and breathe. I don't know how many times today, as upset as I was, I stopped and I breath. I said, I'm going to go to the bathroom here. And I took a breath. I, um, when I had a chance to stop for a second, even though my supervisor walked by me, didn't say a word to me today, that, that we all go forward with these moments, but I had to take a moment to breathe. And that's the thing is that when we're taking a moment to breathe and we're taking a moment to to go forward, that life isn't about right or wrong. Now, I said this earlier, Democrat, Republican, government, people every day. Who's right or wrong? I'm not sitting in those meetings in that mindset of making those decisions. So I can say, yeah, I wish they would have made a different decision because that's my perspective. But I have to take it that, you know, um, you know, like observing our school district. When we went back to COVID and we were putting on masks, and there was it's wrong for kids to wear masks. I'm not taking sending my kid to school unless everybody is wearing a mask. There was two different perspectives. Neither was right or wrong, but at the same time, it was such a core issue. But sadly, fingers were being pointed. And when we point fingers, that's when wronged happens because people feel wronged. because none of us are right or wrong. Sometimes we're in the middle, right? So and yes, you're a federal employee and you're so glad that you're retired. Yes, because federal employees, that's big government. School districts are big government. There's a lot of heads that are making decisions and not all of them talk to each other. Now, I'm going to say that's a little bit, wish it could do better. I'm not going to call it wrong because everybody brings something to a plate. The thing that I wish that people would do better is listen and then take a vote. And if they take a vote, then that's what we got to live on, right? But there again is making sure things are done more rightish, like a boat being righted. Make sure the cargo and everything is even in the boat so that the boat sits upright, right? Because of the fact that we're not in the story of right or wrong. We're in the boat of can we do more right for us, the people? Which means sending love, sending emotional strength, sending wisdom, sending compassion, even when we're upset. Because of the fact that when we're upset, we can say, hey, struggling today. I'm sorry if something comes out wrong out of my mouth because it's like I'm kind of emotional right now. So then they know, hopefully, and then you try to add on, please don't take anything serious, right? So, hi Carolyn, thank you for adding a little bit here. So true. People that made our decisions never did our job. They are sitting in an ivory tower. Exactly. Exactly. And so with that, you know, I've been saying for years, that kids are struggling with math, right? Have a contractor come in and teach them what fractions really do. Teach them why we need to learn the computer system. Have somebody who does computers come in. Have these different people, somebody who's a counselor come in, and why we need mental health. All these things. Have these different adults come in and show these students why we need to learn something, right? Just like the people, like Carolyn said, the people who made our decisions never did our job. They always sat in the ivory tower. Yes, they did. But if they were good leaders, they should come down and come off the ivory tower and come in and see what we do. There's that show where the boss, the CEO, comes in, does the day-to-day work, and they talk to these day-to-day people, right? Well, that's what life should be about, is taking other people's perspective, because we are never right. When people are making decisions, they're thinking, oh, I how many CEOs on that show would come down and say, oh, that wasn't a good decision, was it? Because they thought while they were doing it that was a better decision, but it wasn't. What a good idea about bringing people in who help each teach. Yes. That's the undercover boss. That's what it is. Undercover boss. Thank you, Carolyn. That it is our story of how can we negotiate things. So if I can give anything today, I'm asking that take a breath before we judge, because really, who is right and who's wrong? Take a moment, and I'm not talking about people who steal. There's certain things that there is wrong. I'm I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about our day-to-day conversations. I'm talking about our day-to-day life. I'm talking about our day-to-day quick judgments that we have. Who is wrong? Our conversations with our loved ones, conversations with our good friends. Who is right or wrong? We have so many different perspectives. As many people are in this world as how many perspectives we have. So how can we be all on the same page. We can have likeness with certain people. We can have inspiration with certain people. But really, what is the right and the wrong? There isn't. And the only thing that I would call is the truth with a capital TH, the truth, not a truth, but the truth is divine love. That is the only thing that I would say has exact truth is divine love. Because I felt it and I've known it and I've shared it and I've known that it is truth. But it doesn't call other people right or wrong. I may have tough love of boundaries. Not in this house. Thank you very much. Not in this house. And, like Carolyn says, thank you very much. Love is everything. Yes, love is everything. Thank you for your comments today, Carolyn. They've been very inspirational today. We're not necessarily going to be okay in this society unless we do take a perspective of more kindness. I'm going to go back to me again today. I was really irate, very mad. I don't get mad. And people were commenting, Natasha's, wow, I've never seen her like that. Right? But the thing is, though, going forward, I really had to be careful. My energy was mine, not anybody else's to have. Nobody else's to have. So with that when I was doing something, I have to be careful how much I throw that onto other people. Because we never know where somebody's at. And like I said, there was decisions that I was not happy with today, but were they wrong? No, they weren't wrong. The decisions weren't made to my benefit in my perspective, but they weren't wrong. So with that, and I know today mine was, my world is very small compared to the big world that's going on out there. But I can tell you that I'm the one living it, and we each are living our own individual lives, that things are important. Things are important. And when we are struggling with life and going forward with our life, that there is only the dance that we can do, which is making sure that our world is taken care of. And so with that, please step back when we want to react. Step back a moment, like, yeah, I'm going to have a conversation. And I'm going to try to do it when I'm not reactive. Because when we're going forward and being who we are, that's when we say things that are wrong to someone else who doesn't deserve it, who is really struggling with life. Because we don't know where everybody is. So, with that I do hope that everybody can know that who have been wronged, things stolen from them, broken into, people who have been bodies done with that they shouldn't have been, all these things, that you do not feel like I'm talking to you. I'm not. I'm talking about day-to-day conversations. Who is wrong and who is right. And I'm going to say, most of the time, it's about perspective. I do hope this helps. So now I'm going to take a moment here and say that thank you very much for watching. I'm Natasha Venter, and we're not done with the show yet. But now I'm going to flip over a little bit, and it's time for pulling some oracle cards. And I love to pull oracle cards because they are here to be helpful. They are here to give us perspective. And so on Instagram, if you would like a card. Oh, and if you're watching on Twitter, if you want to go over to my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter, Angelic Clarifications, which I have almost 350 videos on my YouTube channel. So if you're looking for some short videos, a repeat of any of these shows, or if you want to, I have my mantras on there. I have Feng Shui on there. I haven't posted lately on my Let's Get Tiggered, Not Triggered. So there might be a video tonight about Let's Get Tiggered, right? Okay, so let's see here. I've been rearranging my room, so I'm feeling a little discombobulated. I just redid my whole shelf here. I haven't done the top one, but yet I think that that's very much, I might fluff and duff it, but I'm redoing my shelf. So I have, if I have like boxes and everything over here that you can't see. Okay, so let's see who hasn't come out lately. Let's have the unicorns. Let's have the unicorns come out. So I think we need some unicorn magic here. So unicorns coming out. So if you'd like a card, please mention that what you would like. Unicorn. I think the dragons want to come out. So the dragons want to come out. And let's do the Path of the Soul. The Path of the Soul. And these are beautiful cards. I love these cards. They're the Path of the Soul. So if we're struggling today, and remember, I don't need to know details. It's just doing the cards. So if you'd like some cards, please. So with that, Dragons wants to come out for a universal message. I'm going to do a universal card. So if anybody else who would like a card, please mention that they would like a card. And these dragons. I love dragons. Dragons, people always say, are they real? I believe that they are. I know that they empower me quite a bit. They empower me quite a bit. The unicorn deck, please. Oh, okay. I'll do that first, actually, because I want to help you with that. So the unicorn. So I'm going to ask. Okay, so Carolyn, if you can do this, if you can just put your intention out. If you want something specific or just a card, you don't have to tell me. Just put that energy out there and they will pick it up. The universe of love will pick it up. Okay. There we go. Oh, there you go, Carolyn. Thank you. Woo! I think you're getting 2 cards, Carolyn, or 3. I guess you have a message coming your way. Okay. Oh, you have 4 cards. Okay, so you got one step at a time. You also got family culture. And I'll read more about these. And then you got true. Okay. And then you got it's okay to be different. So one step at a time. Lots of little steps make big dreams come true. Little steps make big dreams come true. Let me see. I haven't one step at a time. One step at a time. So with this, that taking one step at a time is a secret way to success. You'd be amazed at how much you can do it if you'll just make a slow, steady progress. Take a moment to think about your projects or dreams. Imagine that it's ready, already complete. Notice how you feel in your body and your heart. Ask the angels, what steps should I take right now to make this happen? Notice any thoughts, feelings, or words or pictures that come to you. If you receive a strong message to take action in a positive way, then do so. Remember that every big job or dream can happen if you just break it down into small steps. I think that that can be a good one for everyone, right? Okay. Let's see. What's the other one? Family culture. Learn more about your family stories and history. There's something about our learning about our family right now that is huge, our DNA, because a lot of us are going through health problems and we forget that our DNA has energy along with it. Like I was watching a show how people who had a transplant and they started acting more like that person because of the fact that many of us our body has so much memory. Well, our DNA has that same memory, right? And then you have past lives. So, about family culture, let me see about this one. Been taking a little bit family culture. Uh, your family history affects you in many ways. This card is asking you to learn about the stories of your family in the past. Find out which countries or parents or your relatives come from. How did they travel from their current location? What language did they speak? What jobs have your family members held? To answer these questions, it's more helpful to understand yourself better. You can also feel good about your heritage and learn about it. You know, I would say that right now, because the story that I'm getting a lot from people who, when I see their ancestors, hear their ancestors, because I do mediumship, that they're saying that what we're going through in our world right now is like people who came across in ships, came across from Ireland and England and came to this country. Or our family members who came across from the east to the west on covered wagons. That upheaval that we're going through of learning who we are, finding out what it takes to be alive today, that's what I'm getting that family members are telling us. So finding out what our family members have gone through kind of gives us a little bit of a story to being who we are. So I hope that helps. And that's what I'm kind of getting for you. It's more about knowing that what you've gone through, because you've gone through a lot, Carolyn. And I'm sorry you went through that. Talk about right or wrong. That it's who we are. And that goes along with it's okay to be different. It's okay to be different. You don't need to be like everyone else. You're perfect just the way you are. So there again is our perspectives are great. Our perspectives are good. Who we are is made up by who we have been. So it's okay to be different. I H H It's okay to be different. Everyone wants to be liked. So it's normal that you want to be with other people. You compare yourself to others and feel like you don't belong. You may even feel that you are not good as other people. But this card is here to tell you that it as but this card is here to tell you that you are special talents and needed in this world. You don't need to change in order to please others. If you try to be different from who you really are, you won't be happy and you won't make true friends. As long as you feel good about yourself, you're doing well. The best way to do this is to tell the truth. Treat people with kindness, keep your promises, and do the work that you need to do. If you don't be, if you needn't be perfect, wear at least You don't need to be perfect or be the most popular person. Just trust in God made you exactly the way that you're supposed to be, which is the best version of you. So with that, this card is about being you, and you know that's the thing is that as we go through life and manage our life, that we're not always, um, uh, this card I think really, Carolyn, really speaks to that really dark moments that we have, and when we're laying in bed and we're questioning our decision making. You're good because the true, yes, what you're asking is the truth. So a lot of things that you're been questioning, there is truth to it. Uh, and I want you to know that and as this truth goes, it is about three-fourths your truth and one-fourth what's happening on around you because of so many people having to make decisions and they don't know how to make them. People are making decisions and they don't know how to make them. So hold true to you, but do it with kindness, like this card said. So I went to Italy, and my grandparents were born there. It was definitely life affirming. I also am I'm on Ancestry. Good for you. So a lot of these cards, and you're very intuitive too. So my dear, so a lot of these cards are about confirmation for you, and so with that I wanted you to know that a lot of times when we are intuitive ourselves, that a lot of times cards get this the a confirmation that you're making the better decisions. So true. Let me read a little bit on true. Okay. This card wants you to know that you're correct in what you're thinking about the situation. So whatever situation you're looking at. You already know the truth, even if it's knowledge that's held deeply in your heart. Take a moment and feel your body say about the situation. Your body also knows the truth, and it will tell you if you will just stop and listen. You can also hear truth from your angels. Close your eyes and breathe deeply and ask the question. Then listen to the words that come into your mind. Your angels are always telling the truth. Yes, and angels do tell the truth. That's the thing is that people think that our guides and our loved ones are going to talk bad to us. No, that's usually our mind or a negative being around you. Angels will say, sometimes they'll say, you know what? I don't think that's the best decision for you. Or I wouldn't do that if I was you. Or, you might want to take a moment to think about that. But they'll never say, yeah, no, angels don't do that. They tell us in kind ways. This card also asks you to tell the truth to yourself as others. As long as you speak like the angels do, and use loving words and actions. It's best to be truthful. If you're afraid to tell the truth, ask Archangel Michael to give you some courage and protection. He will also help you know exactly what to say and do, and everyone will benefit. Also, Archangel Gabriel is a great communicator. So, like when I'm going to have these conversations with certain people, when the timing is right, and I'm actually going to start asking, okay, universe, I need to have these conversations. Can you help and make the time available? Because the fact that I need to have some conversations soon, because otherwise I'm going to start getting into frustration, and I don't want to be in frustration. So I hope those cards made sense for you. Oh, I'm hearing top card. Believe in yourself. So Carolyn, that one was for you too. So believe in yourself. See yourself doing well, and you will. Yeah, I heard top card. So there you go. Okay, is anybody else wanting a card today? because I'm going to pull a universal card for us if not. And it was the dragons who wanted to speak up. Okay, here we go. Thank you all for watching today. I'm so grateful. So grateful. And on our Monday show, while I'm shuffling cards here, this is for the universal message for everyone, dragons, that on the show on Monday, we're going to talk about acceptance. So Regan and I will talk about acceptance. Last week, we talked about surrendering. This one will be about acceptance. Yes, it did. It fit me to a T. Thank you, Natasha. You're very welcome, Carolyn. I am so grateful to work with you. I've enjoyed our friendship and being together for all these years. You've been a blessing in my life. Thank you. Okay. Let's see what the dragons want to say. Oh, you know what they're telling me is this card right here. Harmony. Isn't that a beautiful card? Harmony. Harmony. So let me read about harmony. They also want, her top card too. Ooh, I'll have to read about that one. Harmony. So that is number 2. They use Roman numerals, so good thing I know Roman numerals. Balance and harmony. Tomorrow is a new dawn, and being in our heart center ripples out with positive effects. Exactly. That's why I'm waiting for my conversations to be in a better heart-minded situation. Harmony is the first shy dragon I met. She is peeking out at me from behind a huge curtain when she first appeared to me. She is quiet and considered being, and is a lot less brash than most of the other dragons I have encountered. She's so pretty. Page here. I asked her about her qualities, and she replied, I am the bringer of harmony. Retroactive on an inner personal level and an outer global level. If you are wrestling with a problem that you are unable to resolve, ask her to bring her beautiful, harmonious influences to the situation and guide you to any steps you may need to take. If she has appeared to you today, she asks, what area of your life needs reviewing? What do you need to let go of? Is it judgment or old habits? What is it in your life that need reharmonizing? I will assist you in taking those first steps, supporting you as you go. Take some time to sit and complete your life as it is. Contemplate your life as it is. And look honestly at what may require change. It may be something quite small, just a tweak, or it could be a life-changing event. She goes on to say, the answers you seek all lie within you. So sit quietly, ground yourself, be present, and reflect. Your inner knowing under my guidance will help bring the answer to surface for you. She reminds us tomorrow is a new dawn, and being in our heart centers ripples out with positive effects. She will often appear when there has been discord or upset. This can be personal or global scale. She is harbinger of change, and her role is to bring harmony to the world. Boy, may she bring harmony because we got this volcano that's rumbling in Hawaii, right? So discord there. We have some bad situations going over in Ukraine and down in Africa. Um, I'm sending my love and I'm sending harmony there. I love dragons. I love dragons. Okay, so now we're gonna go. Oh, I don't know how to say his name, so I'm just gonna put it up. So it's Lord Kuthumi, Ketamai, Ketamai. Me and my dyslexia. Okay, so Lord, and so that is 20. Two X's make 20. Lord Ketami. I have not had this card yet. You are change. You are the change. Ooh, you are the change. When Lord Ketami first arrived, he lost no time informing me who he was. I am a dragon elder and spokes who and spokes dragon for the Galactic Council. He went on to say, if you desire to be able to hold the energies of the fifth and the seventh dimensions, you need to be clear of all your earthly woes and fears and your deep need for control. Your light bodies need to be in alignment with those of the earth and the astrological light mix. Only then will you become the tool and a tuning device to lift the energies of the planet. As more of your gather together to do the work, the greater will be your chance to bring lasting peace to earth. Lord Kethamine went on to explain why the dragons are here collectively. We have come because lasting peace is achievable on this planet. There are other galaxies beyond your human understanding at this time where it has happened. We dragons are as old as the universe itself and have encountered and witnessed humanity in all forms and ages. You are the change. You are. Yes, we need harmony all around the world. So we are the change. We are the change. And those on podcasts, I wish that you can see this card. It's amazing. It's beautiful. Maybe I'll take a picture of it and put it up for the picture for this show. So with that, who is truly wrong? Who is truly wrong? Really nobody, unless they do something wrong like stealing or something wrong on bodies and stuff. But let harmony come to heal, and let Lord Kethamai give the grace and the power for it to happen. Blessed be to all. Know that you are loved. The angels love you. And if you're looking for anyone to help you go through life, I do private sessions here. And you can go to angelicclarifications.com to get that, to be able to make those appointments. On Monday on YouTube and Facebook, I will be back on Friday, 4 o'clock Pacific time. Monday, Pacific time on my YouTube channel, Natasha Venter, and Facebook, Natasha Venter Angelic Clarifications. And if you would like to listen to that show, it will be about accepting. So blessed be. And know if you want to listen to this on podcasts, I have podcasts at Life Clarifications with Natasha. Please go to my YouTube channel, like, share, and support someone who I really want to send love around this world because, love can heal. So with that, may love be with you as you walk through this world of ours. And may the twinkle of love follow you along so that everybody else in your path can feel that love. Blessed be. See you on Monday at 4 o'clock Pacific time. And I'm back here next Wednesday at the same time and same channel. And you have a good night too, Carolyn. Thank you. Bye now.